Something I've been thinking about a lot recently is trying to pinpoint and analyze what has made me so successful with my fat loss in the past, going from 215 pounds at my peak down to 144 pounds super skinny, and then kind of sitting in that mid-range now, built some muscle, sitting in that 160 to 170 pound range. What has made me so successful to, one, get there, but two, ultimately keep that weight off in the long run and now maintain it for the past 5+ years? Because it's cool to lose weight, but it is even cooler if you can keep it off and maintain it. And the more I think about it, the more I realize it just comes down to basically structure and having certain guidelines that I follow day to day, meal to meal, that actually keep me successful and keep me from going backwards. The first one, which is probably one of the biggest of them all, is weighing daily. A lot of people fear the scale, especially if you are on the heavier side. The last thing you want to do is step on that scale every day. But this has ultimately been one of the best things I could have done to help keep my weight off, because it is that reality check every day. It is that daily accountability, that slap in the face, that look in the mirror that you need to be honest with yourself. If you eat too much, often the scale goes up. If you're going, you're in that calorie deficit and you're eating less, scale's going down. Somewhere in the middle, it's staying the same. Again, it is that reality check and that real life reflection of what you are eating is literally mirrored here on that scale. There's always going to be ups and downs. It's a little bit of a roller coaster. But when you take those averages week to week, month to month, year to year, those really make a difference. And again, it can really help keep you in check. I will weigh every single day, whether I've gone way off my diet and overeaten or whether I'm undereating, it doesn't matter. I step on that scale every day as an awareness. And again, this has been pretty crucial in long-term weight maintenance for me. Breakfast time. Now, I've been having open house every morning, which is 3 eggs, sourdough bread, and sweet potato. But I thought I would actually switch it up today because they were out of stock on the sourdough bread. So we've gone with something I was having a lot last month when I was in my previous place, which is cream of rice. Now, I had never had cream of rice in my entire life before I came to Bali, and then I started having it like every single morning. And I gotta say, I've become quite a fan. So this is a blueberry cheesecake cream of rice. You can't really see it too well, but it's a blueberry cheesecake, cream of rice, and then I order banana and apple to go on top. So quite a nice breakfast, and it's obviously a protein version. So there's like 30 grams of protein in this, around 500 calories, and a hell of a lot of carbohydrates. So fantastic way to start the day. The second most important thing that I attribute to helping keep weight off is tracking food intake. Now, I've been tracking my food daily for over 10 years now, and it's arguably the most important thing that you can do to help keep that weight off, because when you are aware of your calories, you are in control. Now, when you're overweight, your problem is you are over-consuming too often, right? So doing this, tracking your food daily, allows us to be in control and not over-consume. So I've been doing this for years. I still do it now after losing all my weight, and I think it's arguably, the most important thing that helps keep me on track. I do it myself. I get all of my online clients doing it, because the value of tracking your food and being hyper aware of how much is going in is ultimately everything. This saves my life every single day, so I don't overconsume. If you're not sure where to start with your calories and macros, I've actually got a free calculator down in the description that you can use. So give that a try. It's gonna tell you exactly what you need in terms of calories, proteins, carbs, fats. It will get you started and give you those numbers so you can get off and get started on your own fat loss journey. The third thing that is crucial for keeping weight off in the long term is staying active. active, staying consistent in the gym, whether that is, you know, more cardio-based stuff, lifting weights, whatever your activity of choice is, stick to it, do it consistently. You need to make this a lifestyle, and you need to incorporate exercise into your routine in that long term. It is one of the best things you can do to help keep that weight off. It's just living that active lifestyle, getting more steps in the day. Like I said, coming to the gym, following a routine, a program. It's something that, again, I've been doing for many, many years now. And when you're training long term, and when you're doing this long term, I always like to say you got 50% nutrition, you got 50% training. If one drops off, at least you got the other one. If both drop off, you're buggered, right? Game over. So we always want to make sure we're on point with our nutrition, obviously, but we've got to be on point with our training and our activity too, again, for that long-term progress. The best thing you can do to actually make sure you stay more active is making sure you do have that plan in place. I touched on it a minute ago, but it's so important. I always try and make sure that I'm following some type of plan or program, because that is ultimately what makes the difference. That routine, knowing what you have to do today. I always say random workouts lead to random results. When you're doing a lot of random stuff, like when I take on a new online coaching client, a lot of the time they are doing random workouts in the gym, and they are wondering why they are spinning their wheels and getting nowhere. And it's because there's no consistency and there's nowhere to build. You need to build upon what you are doing, and having that structure, that plan in place can help you build, and that keeps you going in the long run. My sauce is exploding. It's dinner time. The rain is chucking it down here in Bali, but I've got the same but different for once. So open house as per usual. I've got some sweet potato fries, which is fantastic, and I actually got myself a wrap. Chloe had a wrap from open house the other week, and it looked really good. I tried a little bit. It was very good. So I've got a chicken thigh wrap with just some mixed salad in there, so that is going to be nice. So again, goes on what I was talking about earlier with tracking food and how it helps keep you successful and on point. This has already been tracked before I've eaten the food, and I've made sure it is hitting my total calories for the day. So this is actually an 800 calorie meal, which is pretty hefty because I'm having 80 calories worth of sauce as well. You wouldn't think just a wrap and some fries would come in at 800 calories, but that is what tracking does. It helps make you aware of that. And again, if I was just mindlessly eating this, I could be way overshooting my budget, which isn't going to help me keep that weight off in the long run. So anyway, rambling on. We're going to eat this and enjoy. And yeah, I'm freaking starving. As we're about to eat this, it brings me to the fourth thing that I believe really helps with long-term weight loss maintenance, and that is environment. Setting yourself up in a good environment can be really, really helpful. Putting yourself around the right people, making sure that you're putting yourself in the right places, going to the right restaurants, it all makes a big difference. I try to surround myself with people that have a similar approach and similar goals and mindset to myself. It's why I'm in places like Bali, it's why I live in Dubai. Because when you do that, you set yourself up for success because you're not putting yourself in so many difficult situations. If you're surrounding yourself with people that go out drinking every night, they go to McDonald's every day for lunch, it's gonna be very difficult for you to stay on point and stay on track because you just have this constant temptation. Whereas when you surround yourself with people that have similar goals, similar objectives to you, again, it becomes so much easier. I love Bali and Dubai so much because it allows me to stay on my macros, stay on my diet, and that really helps me stay on track and keep my weight down. When I avoid that and I'm doing different things and I'm not focusing on that environment, guess what? The weight starts creeping back on. So environment is very, very important. Final meeting of the day complete. You know, when you work for yourself, it's just non-stop. You feel like you are go, go, go. After this, I'm gonna go back on the laptop, edit some more videos and stuff, do some more work before heading to bed. Which brings me to number 5, my final point. Another super important one is flexibility. Having that balance with your food choices and not being super restrictive in what you have. Now, this is something I hold near and dear to my heart because of the years I felt confused and restricting foods that I ultimately enjoyed from my early teens to my late teens, even up to my 20s almost. I left out a ton of food that I could have been enjoying for years because I just didn't know if I could eat it or not, whether it was healthy, what was unhealthy, and it was all very confusing. But the truth is, you can eat anything you want as long as you have the good structure, good balance, hit a few check boxes and guidelines in terms of health markers like getting enough protein in, moderate calories, getting enough fiber in, getting some fruits and veggies in. As long as you're doing those things on a daily basis, you're pretty much good. And anyone who tells you otherwise is just plain wrong and lying to you, and they're probably trying to sell you something. Hit your targets at the end of the day, keep that good structure in your meal choices, and if you do that, you really can't go wrong. So feel free to be flexible with those food choices because that is ultimately going to help you stay more on track. If you just cut out everything you enjoy, then do not expect to keep that weight off, because you're just going to fall off the wagon, binge eat, and gain it all back. Because when you take something completely away, it just makes you want it more, right? So if you actually allow yourself to have a little bit every single day, then again, you can't really go wrong. As long as you're hitting the total calories, you're hitting that protein, getting some fiber, fruits, veggies, all that good stuff. Like I said, again, it is absolutely fine to be flexible and have some treats, some fun foods here and there, and fit it in. I'm eating different stuff every single day. It's been many years since I've had the exact same foods every single day. So keep things flexible and make sure ultimately you are enjoying the foods that you are eating. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please drop a like, drop a comment, and make sure to subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one.